Hi guys, it's Holly here at Faces. Welcome back to the Face It podcast. Today I'm here with the gorgeous Ellie Mae from Filter and Post. Ellie, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. I'm super excited to hear about your journey and what you've got in store. So welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're more than welcome. So just to give us a bit of context around how you got into the industry and where Filter and Post came from. Do you want to just go through how your journey within the industry started and just give us a bit of context around that?
Yes, so I actually only started last January. However, I was a part-time makeup artist for 3 years prior to starting the aesthetics. And the feeling you get from making people feel good within themselves and making people smile there's just no comparison at all. So that is why I knew I wanted to push myself and go literally headfirst into the industry. So I completed the course with Botox, foundation Botox, foundation filler, and microneedling, dermaplaning, and peels. And for around 6 to 7 months, I wanted to focus on perfecting each treatment and obviously practicing, experience, knowledge. And I'd spend my days off on webinars, speaking to different doctors, surgeons, and really making the most out of my free time.
Yeah.
And then I realised I wanted to start adding more, because a lot of people were asking for specific treatments that I couldn't offer, and I felt like I wasn't giving my all to my clients, so I felt like they deserved more.
That's nice.
I then went on to completing the advanced filler course, and then I've gone on to the hydrofacial, HD brows, and the lemon bottle.
Amazing.
So the lemon bottle up and come in, and the experience with that so far has been crazy. And yeah, I've only opened my salon a month ago, so it's all new, it's all incredible. But only a year into the industry, year and a half, and I've managed to get where I am. So yeah, it's been crazy.
Huge congratulations on the new clinic. That is incredible. I think it's so nice that you've already built up that client base with your makeup, and then it's kind of like a natural progression into these treatments, isn't it? And yeah. I liked what you said around, you wanted to perfect the treatments. You were doing all the kind of studying that you possibly could, doing your courses. And I think a lot of people qualify and then they just expect to be an expert and they expect it all to come to them. But actually perfecting your knowledge as well as your skills, your practical skills, is so important. Would you say that really helped in terms of actually being able to kind of build the client base from the aesthetic side of things as well, because you were able to kind of be more confident when you're doing your consultations and things?
100%. I think with coming into an industry like this, it is one, very, very scary, because you're up against so many incredible people, and two, there's a lot of risks to it, so you need to make sure you know what you're doing. And I believe if you've truly got a passion and love for something, it'll sort of come natural in a way, but the want to do the treatment, want to perfect your knowledge and experience will definitely come natural. And to gain them clients coming back is a major way of definitely perfecting everything. And it basically determines the people that do it for money and do it for the passion and the love.
Yeah. And you know what? Every single person that I've spoken to on my podcast who's doing really well in the industry, built up that client base, some relatively new to the industry like yourself, but some obviously more experienced, it all comes from that passion and that love and wanting to give your clients the best. And it's the people that I've spoken to, not on my podcast really, but I've spoken to practitioners in the past who their why is just financial gain, those are the they just drop off. It's the people who just want to do certain treatments for the money. They want to train into aesthetics because of the money. They never become successful practitioners, because that desire to be better and give your clients an amazing experience and kind of build on your skills just isn't there. It's like with anything, if you're not passionate about it, you can't do well. So,
and I was just about to say that before I came into the aesthetics industry and the beauty industry alone, I used to be a full-time performer. I'd gone to stage school in Wilkes Academy, and the love and passion that I had for it then wasn't enough. I knew I wanted to go and be a performer on a cruise ship. All my friends were doing it. There was experience in the world, getting paid to do it. And it just didn't fulfill me in the way that it fulfilled others. And I really sort of compared myself to it. And then being able to do makeup and making people feel good, it's just completely different. The passion and love determines the future. If you haven't got that, you'll never.
Yeah, 100%. And just comparing it to obviously the performing side of things, that is kind of giving some, like, performing. What am I trying to say? I'm horrendous. So, like, the performing side of things, obviously you're doing that to, like, I don't want to say make people happy necessarily, but you're do you know what I'm trying to say? What am I trying to say?
You're getting paid to entertain people. And
right, yeah,
that is one
what I'm
thing
trying to say, yeah.
I just didn't feel like, because I am a chatty person, I would literally talk for England. I felt like there was something missing that I couldn't give to people, that I wanted to let out. And everyone knew me as this bubbly person, and I couldn't truly be that. So I went to a Disneyland Paris audition, I got turned away. It's a very strict and hard industry to get into. You've got to be a certain size, a certain look, a certain hair colour, and it is so strict. And to build that resilience before starting a business as well has helped me massively.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's entertaining people. It's not being yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And then with the, obviously, kind of the desire you have to kind of give to people is on such a deeper level with aesthetics, isn't it? It's building people's confidence, helping them with an insecurity, even being a support to them, because as you'll know, being a practitioner, you've got to be not just the practitioner, you've got to also be a therapist, a friend, a support. So many different hats you have to wear. But I think it's so lovely that you've actually found that this is what you were destined to do. And I'm just such a strong believer in, like, everything happens for a reason, and what is meant for you will not run from you. So that Disneyland Paris audition just was never meant to happen. It was just never meant to. I mean, I can see you in, like, a Cinderella dress, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you are very, like,
my dreams at the time. I was adamant I was gonna be this Cinderella, but reality here, I'm not.
You do look like a princess, but I think, it just seems like it is perfect for you. And the fact that you've been able to build your business so quickly as well, like, obviously that's taken so much hard work and dedication, but I'm sure a year ago you did not expect to be opening your own clinic so soon, which is just incredible. No. So just touching on sorry, go on, lovely, I just cut you off.
Not at all. I got told that I wasn't really great at my job. I wasn't going to get anywhere as a practitioner for certain treatments that I didn't offer, and I got knocked back a lot. And it is scary, obviously. You do compare yourself to other people, but if you truly have that passion and love, like we mentioned earlier, you'll get far.
Yeah, definitely. With regards to getting knocked back, I think that's something that a lot of practitioners face within this industry, not only in terms of, like, I know the Facebook forums can be, like, basically just a bitch session. Like, I know they can be horrendous. I think even people within, like, who are close to you, if you're working as an aesthetics practitioner, older family members don't quite understand it. There's jealousy as well, I'm sure, comes into play. So what, if you're happy to, what's your kind of experience with being knocked back in terms of the career path that you've chosen?
So number one, I'm still very young, so I'm only 21,
Oh my
and
God,
that,
that's crazy.
yeah, I get that reaction all the time.
Oh my, I'm not saying you look old, by the way, but you're just very mature. Like, obviously, you've opened your clinic. Good on you. That's amazing.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. I get
Okay.
that. But yeah, age was a massive thing, because if I'd go into a salon or I'd reach out to other practitioners, they'd sort of do the research on me, as you do. If you're bringing someone into a clinic or a salon, you want to know who this person is, what they're about. And my age was a massive thing. And obviously, being up against so many people in the industry that have got, number one, the first knockback that I had obviously was my age. I'm still quite young, I'm still new into the industry, I'm only 21. So to be up against so many practitioners with years of experience, years of knowledge, medics, it's scary alone. And people, if they're basically looking for people to come into the clinic, they need to know who this person's about, what they've got to offer. They need to know everything about this person, and age can put somebody off. Like, to basically give someone a treatment at 21, what I offer can be daunting, it can be scary. So that was one knockback alone. The second one I'd say is my Instagram. And the reason why I say Instagram is because as a performer, we were taught how to use Instagram at a young age, like reels, what posts, when to post, hashtags, everything. So from a very young age, I've always been into social media, how to work it properly. And even on the side, I've been like using Canva to create my own posts. I spend a lot of time on my Instagram. So when people see it and they're a bit older or they're not really into social media, it can be a bit daunting that someone so young knows so much about Instagram and that has a good aesthetic page, and then they compare it to theirs, and it can be they can be put off by it in a way.
I'm
And
getting intimidated vibes. Like, it's giving intimidation. Like, it's
yeah,
giving jealous.
and that's what I was going to say. Third one I'd say is jealousy, and it does go on everywhere, day to day life. It does happen with friends, family, random people. It comes and goes, but I think jealousy it will happen with anybody,
100%.
whatever industry.
Especially in this industry, because it is so female dominated.
Yes.
It's just known to be like that, isn't it? Because we see it all the time. And I see a lot of practitioners come into the industry who are maybe a bit more introverted, are quite quiet, and I think it is like a bit of a shock to the system seeing
Yeah.
seeing how bitchy it can be. But luckily, like, you've probably dealt with that for a really long time. Like you say, you've got knocked back with the Disney audition. I know that's slightly different, but like, you've definitely formed a thick skin.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it's been able to kind of appreciate being rejected, so to speak, but knowing kind of the reasons why, it's okay, they maybe feel a little bit intimidated by me because I've got a strong social media presence.
Yeah.
If I was someone looking to take you on, I'd be like, this is perfect. She knows how to do social media. I have no idea. Like, there's so many people in this industry who struggle with social media, who are like, I don't know how to do reels. I'm the same. I don't know how to do reels.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah, like, I'd be like, great, get her in now. Like, she knows how to promote. Like, but yeah, I think, but do you know what? It's a good thing that you've been knocked back, because, like I say, everything happens for a reason, and you're now where you are with your own clinic, which is incredible. So what about your client base then? So would you say your clients are predominantly on the younger side then, or do you have quite a broad range of clients?
So I actually have a broad range of clients. I will say the last year it was more younger to middle-aged clients, because mainly all my clients came from social media.
Yeah.
And because I've moved, now I've got my own clinic in a village, I have a lot more older clients. And it is great to be able to offer treatments for all ages, for every single person. And yeah, it is pretty broad now. And it's crazy because you build these relationships with your clients, and some of my clients feel like my second mom. It's crazy.
Oh, that's so cute. Do you know what I would love if I was a practitioner? That variety of like conversations. It's like you can go from doing one person's treatment, talking about like what they're doing at the weekend, going out getting drunk, to then like having like deep chats with someone who's older and like getting life experience advice from them. I just think that's so amazing.
Literally.
And
It's
also
amazing.
I think it's nice as well when you have a broad client base like you're starting to build now, because it can really sort of test your skills and your technique as well. If you're just doing like lips on 18-year-old girls all day every day, yes, you'll be incredible at that, but then when someone in their 70s comes to you, you might be a little bit stuck. Whereas if you've got that kind of consistent variety in different clients, it's always going to kind of test you and means you can practice your skills a lot better. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. And when I first did my course, I was actually lucky enough to have an older client. My first client was an older lady. She had her lips done. She'd never had filler before. And she was obviously really scared. She saw that a young girl was doing it, just like on a course.
Yeah.
And she did flinch a lot. So there was a lot of movement, arm movements. And I think if you get used to having a certain client or a certain age group, it then when it changes, because you're in this pattern, it can become scary.
Yeah.
So getting yourself out of the comfort zone and getting people in all sort of ages, like ethnicities, every single person,
Yeah.
you find confidence in that. And I think that is major with this industry, because there's so many risks that come along with it.
Yeah.
You've got to be confident in every.
Yeah, exactly. And if you get a new client in, you don't, obviously you'll do the consultation in person, but like everyone's anatomy is different, like you say. And yeah, I think it's obviously being able to market yourself to everyone as well. I think is another thing. I was having this conversation with someone last week, particularly when it comes to like men and potentially older clients. Like if you've got like a really flashy like pink clinic, you are kind of pigeonholing yourself to a certain demographic.
Yeah.
I like your neutral vibes with the plant,
Yeah.
the beigey tones. Like it's just really inviting for everyone. I think like that the branding side of things comes into it a lot as well. Just moving on to treatments then. So you mentioned obviously lemon bottle and hydrofacial are two of the new treatments that you're offering. Everyone is obsessed with lemon bottle right now. Like it's absolutely crazy. I can guarantee if I opened Instagram right now, there'll be posts about lemon bottle. Literally. So what kind of feedback have you had from that? And was there a specific reason as to why you wanted to train in lemon bottle / fat dissolving treatments?
So onto lemon bottle. So first of all, let's take out the fat dissolving and look at skin boosters and the microneedling. With all the facials that I offer and with having more older clients, the results that you get with the skin boosters and the needling, like off one session, is crazy. And to have just a slight price increase on the needling alone is completely worth it to have like results in one session straight off. And it's more comfort clients in the collagen, etc. And onto fat dissolving. So with so many clients of myself, and even taking my clients out of it and going through family and friends, it's something that's always spoken about. And I think now, especially with social media and comparing yourself to these influencers and celebrities and seeing how thin they look or how confident they look in a certain way they dress, you compare it. And I think fitness and health will always be big in the future. Filler will dip, people have it dissolved, etc. So to offer something that's forever, it's not a trend with fat dissolving, and it's something that majority of the people look into, because there is something in the back of the head that they compare to other people. And myself, I'm my biggest critique, and I'll be like, I'd have a bit of fat dissolving in my arm. So it's not only just an insecurity for myself, my family and friends and clients, but to be able to offer it in general and do my knowledge and experience on lemon bottle itself rather than just the fat dissolving, I think was major. So to be able to offer that, I wanted to offer it all and make sure I know what comes with it, what doesn't, benefits, etc. So it's just been crazy at the minute. The feedback and just the messages alone have been pretty crazy on the lemon bottle.
Oh no, honestly, I've heard amazing things that basically, if it's not lemon bottle, there's kind of everything, every other fat dissolving product just kind of like doesn't really matter anymore. But I think it's a great treatment to offer because, like you say, it's not a quick fix. It's not like getting liposuction, However, if you do have older clients who often do suffer with those kind of more problem areas such as the arms, around the tummy, that's like stubborn fat, which is really hard to lose. Even if you were to diet and go to the gym, like sometimes those kinds of areas just won't shift. So I think it's great to offer that treatment, but obviously in regards to the social media and comparing side of things, it is a shame that people feel like they have to kind of resort to treatments like that. Do you ever find that you get clients in who are like, oh, I want to look like this, and they'll like show you a picture?
Yeah, so I've had that even with doing my makeup. Someone will come in and let's say, for example, Kim Kardashian. They want to look like Kim Kardashian, make me look like her, wrinkle free, but I can't do that.
Like you're not a surgeon.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make you look like Kim K.
Yeah.
However, I think to be able to deal with that for a few years just in makeup alone has gave me. I'm a very honest person, so to be able to say my honest opinion and give my knowledge to clients, I will actually turn them away. And that is a bit controversial, but if someone was to say, for filler example, I've got one client, she's came to me for cheeks, jaw, chin, lips, Botox, and she wanted to book back in for her lips. And I've actually told her that she can't do it. As horrible as it sounds, in the nicest way possible, she cannot book back in for lips anytime soon because I don't want her to overfill it. It can cause serious migration, and I think you've got to sort of have, I don't know, like the balls to be able to say that to your clients, because some people can take it the wrong way, and I'd never want that to happen. But some people out there, like we mentioned earlier, do it for the money, and people can come out with having serious risks, complications, a look that they didn't want, and you've just got to be honest. Like filler and all these treatments that I offer enhances your natural beauty. I wouldn't want to turn people away and say, look, I can't do anything for you. I'd just be completely honest. I don't offer the Russian lip technique, and that is obviously controversial, but for me, every treatment that I offer, I've had done myself, I believe in, and I've got a passion for. And Russian lip technique, for me, my personal opinion, I feel is a bit of a trend at the moment, and it is damaging to the lip tissue. A lot of doctors and surgeons have stopped doing it, but it's something that I wouldn't look at doing. It does change the face shape a hell of a lot. It's great for people with like smaller lips and not much shape, but you see certain lips that are crazy in your face and people regret it. So many of my clients have had it and have had to have it dissolved because it's one, affected the tissue, and two, completely changed the face, and they've hated it. But yeah, it's more about enhancing, I think.
Yeah,
and I think that's what
exactly.
people need to talk more about with Instagram, because obviously we use filters, you get this done. And I look back to when I was younger, I had severe acne, and I went through a stage where I literally hated the way I looked. You compare yourself, I got bullied, and it's only now that you realise that you don't need to have all this stuff done. Yeah, I've had stuff done, but it hasn't changed the way I look. It's just enhanced what I've got.
Yeah.
And I think that's what practitioners and people in the industry need to push, because so many young girls are coming on Instagram and comparing.
Yeah, and it's like, well, that's edited. Like, that's a before and after picture where someone's actually put makeup on their client afterwards. So that we're not going to do that. It's just, managing expectations. But I think it's great that there's treatments like skin boosters around, because you can even use them in the lips, under the eyes. It's not just Botox and filler anymore. It's skin treatments, and even like lip flip. A lip flip is a great treatment to have in the lips if someone maybe isn't in a position where they should be getting some filler. You can do a lip flip. So there's lots of alternatives, I think, these days, which is really, really good. And just talking about the hydrofacial as well, because I know you've just got your hydrofacial, which is incredible. I talk to everyone about how much I love hydrofacial, but I've never actually had one. But I just love, like, I know that I would love it, because I look at the gunky jar videos on Instagram, and I'm like, oh my God, I just love it so much. But are you starting to look at treatments that are gonna sort of help with your client's skin then? Because I think that's a big thing, obviously, at the moment as well. The skin journey and the things you can do to help that.
Yes, so I've got a lot of clients that have come to me with scarring, that have had hormonal breakouts, that have got pigmentation issues, large pores, and I will say the hydrofacial has helped with that. It helps with a variety of things. The extraction pen alone is great for blackheads. You've got the radio frequency for tightening of the skin. But what I will say is my favourite treatment for the skin isn't the hydrofacial. It's actually the enzyme peel and the microneedling. And I've saw the results with that. So people that have come to me with breakouts and scarring have come to me because I have promoted my issues and my problems with my skin. So people can relate to me, and that's why they've came to me for my advice and my knowledge, etc. And I'd say the peel and the needling is the best thing that I've basically experienced with myself and others.
What peels do you use?
So I actually just use the instant peel, the Clinicare instant peel. So I don't actually, even though I'm trained in chemical peels, I'm not offering them just yet, because even though I'd love to have it done and get into it, it's harsh on the skin, and to really have it peel off, I feel, isn't something natural, and a lot of people don't want deep down, because they don't want to. Everyone's got to go to work. Everyone doesn't want to go into a shop with skin. I sometimes feel a bit insecure going to the shop if I've got no makeup on, and it's one thing my family and my partner has said: you're literally beautiful. What are you doing? Like, you've got beautiful skin. Go into the shop. And I think that's something that I've not really had a passion for. So that's why I've not offered it, even though I'm trained in it. But yeah, the enzyme peels, results. You don't peel. It's available for all skin types, every single person. And it preps the skin for any other treatment, like your hydrofacial, your dermaplane, your microneedling. So it's an overall great treatment to offer.
Amazing. So if anyone's looking for a new peel, Clinicare instant peel, I might go on and order some of that.
Yes.
Obviously you've been using faces since you started, which is amazing. So thank you so much for being a loyal Faces user. Um, do you want to just talk a little bit about how Faces has helped with the runnings of your business and what features you like to use on that?
Yes. So I will say the major thing that I love about Faces is the access to one, absolutely everything. So you've got your online shop, you've got prescribers, your booking system, of course, your access to like clients, like database, etc., and especially the one-to-one support. And I think that's something that lacks in other companies and businesses. Um, with me, when I first started off, obviously it's scary. It's sometimes you do need that little boost or you need that little second opinion. So to have access to one-to-one support straight away, whether it's on WhatsApp, whether it's via phone call, is so important. And that is one thing I've got to say I love.
Amazing.
So when I first started, I would differ between the online booking system and an old-fashioned diary.
Yeah.
Um, and I found it was so hard to do both. And I'd end up double booking people without realising. And I was like, what am I doing? So I stuck to the online booking system, and obviously you have access to not double book.
Yeah.
So that is how it helped me grow in the business and not actually double booking anyone. But even just like the consent forms, the aftercare forms, sometimes it's like you have to like add a description, or you don't know, some practitioners do their own aftercare forms, their own consent forms. So for someone starting off alone and you don't really know what to put in the forms, are you asking too much, are you asking too less, to have that just on its own is insane. And I still use the consent forms and aftercare forms now.
God, you should always use them because they're fully insurable. Like you say, it's got everything that you need to ask your clients on there. You're not having to create your own and be like, I don't even know what questions to ask, like Googling to find a consent form. Like, oh God, that would just put me off wanting to be a practitioner having to do that. But also I think sending them to your clients as well, not only is going to give you that peace of mind because you can read their consent form and their medical form before they come into clinic, it also looks good to the client that you're asking for that information straight away. You're wanting to know that information, and it's not just just come to clinic and fill out this random piece of paper and that I'm probably not even gonna look at ever again. Your client's information is safe on the app, in your account, and you can go back and look on it as well. So you're not having to remember everything that they've had. You can just go onto their previous consent forms and it's there ready for you. But I'm so pleased it's working for you. Definitely better than a paper diary. I'm a paper diary girl as well. Like, I love a paper diary. But
I did hard moving on, but I was like, this is the new thing. I need to get into this. Like you mentioned earlier, it's more professional, I believe, having that email update, the access to your own consent form, even adding the photo of the ID. That is major. Not people even ask for ID. I've had clients before where they've not even consent form, and it's like, it is crazy, like knowing that some practitioners out there don't even have consent forms, don't even have aftercare forms, don't have reminders. Like, it is like bizarre.
Yeah, especially these days when like 15-year-olds look like they're 20. Like, so that's a lot of people have said to me before, like, why do you have to take ID on the consent forms? Like, you don't have to. The option is there because you might look at a client and think, I don't know if they're old enough for treatment. And obviously we all know you have to be 18. And if something went wrong and they were underage, game over. So it's that you use that, particularly, especially when teenagers are like so good at makeup and things these days. I'm like
That's what I mean. Social media for you, you've got access to everything. But my partner's little sister, she wants to be a makeup artist. She follows everything on TikTok, and last week she followed a brow tutorial, a little hack, and she ended up cutting too much hair off a brow and having a slit in a brow. So it's good in some ways because people learn a lot, but on the other hand, if they're not professional and they're too young.
Yeah, well, she's definitely got the right person in her life at the moment. So you can teach her the ways. Like, this is how you do it, okay? With regards to regulation, what are your thoughts in terms of what's been announced?
I actually agree with the regulations. I think to have sort of restricted access and treatments to offer, I do believe that it gives a little bit more confidence in clients, I'd say. So there is a lot of practitioners out there that don't know anything about the industry that are doing it for money, like we said earlier, and it is very risky. And I think even myself, I'm a non-medic. I've trained with nurses, and it doesn't make you any better, it doesn't make you any worse. However, they do obviously have more experience, more knowledge within like bloods, everything, the internal. But I also, I completely agree with it. I think it will help everyone in the industry as well as all clients. It gives that little extra comfort for clients to make sure that you're in the right hands. Like, it is something very risky. You've got to have a lot of trust for your practitioner. You need to know everything about the practitioner. So to have something in place, obviously I can imagine some people wouldn't agree with this, and you've spent so much money on courses, you've spent a lot of experience, like knowledge, you've spent so much time like perfecting everything. So I can understand some people's frustration, but at the end of the day, it's people's faces, and if it's going to make everyone feel good and a bit more better in themselves and more comfort and everything with that, I completely agree with it. I've got to say.
I think you've made a good point there. And I was thinking as you were talking, it's almost like the aesthetics industry has lost its like severity, and going and getting your lips done is just like going and getting your nails done, whereas I think 10 years ago it was like it's just not seen as like a serious thing, and I think both
it's not,
and it should be, like you say, they're also luxury treatments. It's a luxury to get aesthetics treatments, and it's these people who are charging like, I don't know, £50 a mil, stuff like that, where that's what it loses its like credibility. That it is a luxury it's a luxury range of treatments to get in the aesthetics industry. And
oh, sorry.
No, you go. No, you go, lovely.
I've not long came back from holiday in Dubai, and I got surprised to a little trip to this beautiful salon, and it was basically a wellness centre where they've got everything in one. So they've got aesthetics, hair, a spa, absolutely everything, and the luxury that you feel when you go over there, because they have such harsh restrictions in Dubai. Yeah. And so I wouldn't be able to go over and offer aesthetics. You have to have a medical background. So in some aspects I agree and disagree with that, but the luxury that you do feel over there, obviously they do charge some more because they've got more knowledge, they've got more experience, etc. And like you said, years ago it was major to have your lips done, and even Botox, like it's an expensive treatment. You want that luxury feel to it, and even certain locations where you can go and have it done, like you hear some clients that say that they've done it in the living room, that they've done it in the bedroom, and it's scary to know that when it's you pay so much to have something so risky done, that it's just done somewhere that's got no meaning, it's got no chemical luxury feel. So it is, I completely agree with it. And I think to offer something like that, you definitely should have not an investigation, but you should be assessed on the location that you're in. And you as a person, I think, majorly, so you could go and, obviously I know you shouldn't judge someone off when you first meet them, etc. But to get to know a practitioner, you could have someone that has no interest in it and doesn't really, it sounds scary, but some people don't care deep down about the complications and the risks with filler.
Yeah.
And that passion comes in. You shouldn't be offering it if that's the case at all. And if you're doing it as a little side thing, it's something that you shouldn't do.
No, that's it. You know, there are people out there doing these treatments who, first of all, are not trained, secondly, are not insured. And it's like, they just, like, someone was telling me recently, they'd been on like a Facebook forum and there was like a picture of someone's lips and there was quite clearly a vascular occlusion present. So everyone was like, that's a vascular occlusion, get them back into clinic. Like, now you need to get that dissolved. And the practitioner was like, what's a vascular occlusion? And it's actually, that actually makes me angry, because I'm like, do you really think that injecting someone's lips is gonna be complication free?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you think, come on, like, come on, like. But also, I think clients should take up accountability as well with this. It's like, are you checking your practitioner is insured? Are you asking them where they're buying their products from? Do they have their certificates on the wall? And if not, are you checking to see if they're actually trained? You know, are you doing your research, checking reviews, you know, that kind of thing? And I think a lot of the time, if a client's going to a practitioner who doesn't know what a vascular occlusion is, it makes you think, okay, what was that consultation process like? If there even was one, it sounds like there probably wasn't, because they've not even talked about complications with that client. So I think, to some respect, clients also need to take accountability with who they're going to, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Getting needles stuck in your face, do your research. Like, so yeah, I think it's a mix of everything, to be honest. But yeah, I think it will bring that kind of credibility back to the industry, because the practitioners who actually go on to, obviously we don't know what it's going to be, but if, let's say it is licensing and it is a certain qualification, it will sieve out all of the bad practitioners, and those who do get their license and do get those qualifications will be left. So it'll just give it that credibility, is maybe the wrong word, but do you know what I mean? It'll just make it so
because with social media, it's turned into a trend. Like when Ellie Mae had all of her filler done, and that photo was put out when she came out of Love Island. It's scary. It becomes a trend. So many young girls are having it, and I'm one of them. I had my lips done when I was 18, and it's also then becomes an addiction. And it's something, then it doesn't turn into that luxury feel. It becomes, I'm just gonna have my nails done again. It's then becoming on that level, not a luxury like it used to. And I think Instagram is massive, and that's why I mentioned the Russian lips earlier. Everyone's having the lips dissolve now and having natural and subtle looks, because all these influencers and celebrities are doing it. So that means I've got to do it. And it's the same with like combination brows and certain microblading now. It's slowly starting to go like calm down a bit. Like, it went massive, everyone was having it, everyone's trained in it, the same with filler, and now people are getting them removed. And it's just a trend that's going up and down. And to be a part of that, I've had clients come to me and they've said, oh, I don't know whether to get lips done, and they've got a beautiful shape. I'll say, you don't actually need it doing. And I'll say, if there's something else that you've got, any skin concerns that I can help you with, like pigmentation or anything like that, we can discuss that. But if someone comes to me and say that I want filler, or I want this specific area, and I've measured it, I use calipers to measure face facial features, make sure that they have got room, that it'll suit the face, and I will straight be honest and say that they don't need it. And it is social media. It's got a massive impact on everyone's lives at the minute.
Just touching on what you said around, treatments potentially being like addictive. I think a lot of the time clients don't necessarily want, like, they might not look at themselves and be like, oh, I need some more filler in my lips, but it's like the fact of like going to the clinic, actually getting the treatment. It's like, oh, I want to go like get something done, like to make myself feel
and
better.
I'll be honest, I have definitely been in that position. I will actually, the beginning of the year, I go to the ladies that are trained with, my mom's been going to them for years, and that's the reason why I train with them, because I trust them and they're very good at the job. But she'll turn around to me and say, Ellie, you don't need anything. You've had a little bit here. I've only had subtle tweakments, not like full treatments. I've just had little tweaks, and you've got to be able to have someone turn around and say, you don't need that doing. You're going to ruin your face. You're going to, and it does become like, it becomes
a
like in your
mental
mindset,
thing.
and it's,
yeah
it is a mental thing. That's what I was after. It becomes like, it then becomes an addiction, because it's like, oh, I want to get something done. I don't know what I want doing. And people will just say, yeah, let's get you in. Let's have another half a mil. And that's wrong. It is, whether people agree or not, it is wrong to do that, because
100%.
having your nails done, it's not like a bit more length on your acrylics. Like, it's completely different. There's so many components.
But it's great that you can offer treatments like, alternative treatments, like, okay, why don't we do a skin treatment today? And then they're still going to feel like they've got something that's self-care related, and less invasive, which is going to make them have nice glowy skin instead. Or even, putting a skin booster in the lips instead for like hydration or something like that. I think it's good to, when you come across a client who clearly does not need any more filler or whatever it might be, I think it's still nice to kind of offer a treatment that just so they can still feel like they're getting something and having that like experience in the clinic. Because I think, like we talked about, it is that kind of mindset of, getting the numbing cream on, or like doing the consent, like that kind of like excitement before you get a treatment as well. But yeah, it is certainly just trend related, isn't it? Like, everything's just a trend.
I think that's why when I was looking to open my own place, my main goal was I wanted a reception area that was calm but luxurious. And I have a lot of older people. We have market days in the village, and a lot of people just pop in for price lists. And I have a lot of ladies that will actually pop in to have a cup of tea or have a little drink, have a biscuit or anything like that. And even the husbands, they'll come in with the partners, and to create, that's what I wanted to create. So if I didn't want people to feel that they've got to spend hundreds of pounds on a treatment to feel luxury. Come and have a free cup of tea, have a free coffee if it's going to help you better your day.
I love that, Ellie. That's so nice. I love that. I'll come down for a cup of tea next time I'm in the area.
Come down, I've got loads of biscuits.
Amazing. No, I love that. It's because that's also how you build trust with clients as well. Like you say, I think a lot of people might feel scared to, walk into a clinic because they're like, oh, like, I want to ask for a price list, but I'm not sure if I want to get anything. Like, and it's that kind of, I think when treatments are expensive, it does, I think a lot of people can feel quite intimidated by that. But it sounds like you just like created like, what, just come and chill, have a chat, offload. I love that. That's really nice.
I think, like you said earlier, it can be daunting for clients. I've had clients come to me before where they've gone to big salons, big clinics, and it could be 300, 400 pounds for a treatment, and they felt like they've got to dress up to go to the appointment because that's what it's perceived on social media, and you've sort of got that in your head, and then it doesn't become a luxury. You don't want to go there because of that you like their work, that you like them as a person. For me, it was majorly for people to enjoy me as a person, like, and trust me. And then it just becomes like a trend. It becomes something that looks good on social media. People want to go because of the sign or the name, and it's like, that's not what it is about. It's a luxury treatment of the complications, the prices of like products alone. Like Botox alone is very pricey, and people are out there charging a mil 3 hours for 150 quid. And I think what some people, well, on Instagram, you get that through social media, and I think it is so scary, it's so daunting. And it's such a shame that clients feel like sometimes they've got to dress up, that they can't just come in the leggings and a jumper.
Oh my God,
you're paying for a
that's it.
So
I want to go to my appointment in my Crocs and my joggers and just be like, I just want to chill. This is me time. This is an hour that I've dedicated to spending on myself, where I can just chill out. And 100% it should be like that. You shouldn't feel like you've got to be a certain person to get these treatments. But it is literally like one extreme to the other. It's like someone doing it in the bedroom, and then there's like these huge clinics that are like quite scary as well. But it sounds like you've made a nice little what's the word, like safe space where everyone's welcome, which just sounds incredible. Just to finish off then, Ellie, obviously you've managed to grow very, very quickly, and it's incredible. It's hard work, dedication, the passion, like we've said. What is next for you in terms of like the next like 6 to 12 months? Do you have like more treatments you're going to be adding, like growth plans? Like, what are you thinking?
So for now, treatments I'll be keeping as a minimal, and like I'll be spending the next how many months perfecting the treatments I'm offering. So I've only just, well, not long, in the past 8 months, I've been offering hydrofacials, HD brows, and the lemon bottle. So I'll spend the next how many months perfecting those, the knowledge, experience, etc. But makeup wise is something that I want to also push. And I've got a few upcoming ideas and events with that, which I can't actually announce just yet.
Okay.
I would love to expand further. I would love to expand further, potentially abroad as well. But that's all I'm going to say for now.
Oh my God. Right, as soon as you can say you're coming back on the podcast so we can catch up, because this sounds incredibly exciting. And you know what? I think just congratulations for what you've achieved so far in your new clinic. I'll 100% come and see you though, because our head office is in Stafford and you're Penkridge, aren't you?
Oh, nice. Oh my God, yeah. So we're only in Penkridge.
Who did you train with?
I trained with Aesthetics Academy, so they're in Lichfield.
Oh.
It's Zoe at Sorrel Beauty Aesthetics Academy. But
Wait,
yeah, I've been going to them for years.
I recognise Sorrel. Sorry, who is it? Zoe and
Sabrina in Lichfield.
Oh, I feel like I've come across Sorrel before, maybe.
Sorrel Beauty, yeah, they're brilliant. Zoe used to be a nurse, but she's got years of experience in the industry now, and they've got their own training academy.
Oh, amazing. Okay, yeah. So we I know we've gone off topic a bit, but Faces is a sister company of Canvas Medical Group.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if you know Canvas. Yeah, so their head office is like based at the clinic, but they're a training academy as well. So I thought, I wonder if she trained with Canvas, because obviously that's Stafford, so not far from Penkridge. But like I say, congratulations on everything you've achieved so far. I love having these conversations, and considering you're 21 as well, like, I've no doubt like absolutely smash it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Lovely.
Thank you so much. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.